everyone, and welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
34-10, Carolina Panthers victory. Holy crap. Jerry.
Boom.
What else can you say? The Cam Newton effect is fully in effect, man. This team looked completely different than anything we've seen all season.
Exactly.
In the Matt Rule era.
Yeah. It has a leader that they believed in. I mean, I know he didn't play that many snaps, but you could tell the energy he brought to this team. And the defense felt like, okay, we don't have to do it all ourselves, but we're going to do as much as we can to help you guys out. And yin and yang, they were beautiful. Beautiful. I was not expecting this type of performance. In Arizona, against probably one of the best teams in the league, they dominated, stomped it to the ground, and submitted them to the mercy. Yes, they don't have Kyler Murray. Well, we didn't have, the worst quarterback in the league. Whatever.
Yeah, we didn't have Sam Darnold, so there. Jerry, you just said much more eloquently what I tried to say when I went, what a game. I mean, the Panthers, from the first series,
yeah,
you could tell this game was going to be different.
Well, the first series for Arizona, I was thinking, okay, this is our defense, just lighting people up, especially early because teams don't expect it. I hated our commentators, by the way. The guy was like, Cliff Kingsbury said this is the best defense he's faced. I thought he was playing lip service. Yeah, you obviously paid no attention to this defense at all the rest of the year.
Yeah. Well, the Panthers never seem to get the best commentators. Although that may change now that we have Cam Newton because there's going to be a lot more eyeballs on this team the rest of the way. There's a lot to say. I think let's just go ahead and jump into our key plays here because that's sort of where we're going to kind of talk about a lot of this. And we sort of just referenced it, but first series here. There you go. First series here. Before we get to Cam, Haason Reddick coming back to Arizona, I guess, shows up in a big way early on. This is, again, first third down of the game for the Cardinals, 3rd and 5. And Haason sack fumble recovered by Fox. And Panthers immediately start the game in the red zone.
Yeah.
Couldn't have scripted it any better.
Correct. That was beautiful. Haason Reddick, he loved that because – they let him go. They let him walk, test free agency. They felt they made a mistake picking him in the first round. And he comes out and he's having a heck of a year and right away makes some impact. And then it's an impact of not having Sam Darnold because we actually score on a turnover, a touchdown. Second and goal at Arizona and 2. Cam Newton's first play of the game. Cam Newton up the middle, 2 yards. Well, it says up the middle. It was more to the right.
Yeah, he ran inside.
But touchdown. First play of the game.
Broke several tackles. Vintage Cam Newton run, honestly, right there. Looked a little clumsy from the snap and everything.
I thought the same thing.
Bobbled it a little bit, but you know what? It worked out. And, hey, he's keyed up. We got Elflein in there at center. I don't know why they didn't play Tecklenburg at center. I thought he played really good last week. But Elflein at center, I guess overall he did okay this week. But for Cam's first play to result in a rushing touchdown, again, you couldn't have scripted it any better.
And then he runs to the camera and screams, "I'm back," and he gets flagged.
I'm back, yelling it into the stands. Yeah, I'll take that 15-yard penalty anytime. That was amazing. It was so good. But, hey, a play before that, P.J. Walker – or a couple plays before that, I guess I should say. Maybe actually the play before that. P.J. Walker did hit CMC with a nice pass over the middle. Just very accurate. Thrown a little behind him. I thought if he hit McCaffrey in stride, it's a touchdown. But got him down to the 2, and that's when Cam came in and did his thing. So we'll talk about P.J. Don't worry. But these key plays are going to revolve around Cam.
Well, it revolved around the feeling of the game, how it worked. Haason Reddick, then Cam touchdown. It's a snowball effect that I was saying that happened during this game.
And Kingsbury could feel the momentum, which is why this next key play happens.
Yep. 4th and 1 at Arizona 42. Colt McCoy up the middle for a -1 yard. This blew my mind that they went for this. I was like, all right, the Panthers offense has struggled multiple weeks. They have PJ Washington. I mean, why would you go for this there? We're only up
Walker, you mean?
Yeah, we're only up by 7 points. This just made no sense to me. I mean, if you fail this, which they did, you're giving the ball within 5 yards of field goal range. Just
bad play call too. Like, going for it. Yes, I would not have gone for it, but it was a long 1 yard. I mean, that was probably like 1.5 yards. And you've got Colt McCoy, not the biggest quarterback in the league, trying to sneak it against our big, interior defensive line, who had just stopped a running back from basically running
right up the middle,
through the middle. They were ready for it, and he didn't get anywhere close.
And the defensive lineup looked straight up the middle. Like, if you're Kingsbury, you call a timeout there. You say, hey, timeout. Yep. No, we're going to either change our play or punt it, because that just doesn't look right.
Yeah, they should have tried to. I think they should have tried to catch him off sides or something. I mean, like a lot of teams do, and then just punted the ball. I think that's what the announcers thought was going to happen there. But no, they went for it, and immediately I thought, wow, what a dumb thing to do. In the first quarter, like you said, only down 7. We've got our backup quarterback playing. They're 8-1. They obviously have all the confidence in the world in their defense, which is a good defense. Yeah, didn't understand that decision, but hey, it worked out. And guess what? Barely a minute later, our 4th key play of the game here, Robbie Anderson. Welcome to the 2021 NFL season. Robbie Anderson catches a 2-yard touchdown pass from Cam Newton. Comes in again at the 2-yard line. Instead of running it this time, he passes it. Very nice pass. Perfectly placed ball to Robbie Anderson, who catches it. Panthers up 14-0 at this point. Only 8:39 left in the first quarter. But for me, it felt like, oh my God, we're going to win this game. And we're going to win this game big. Like, that's how I felt after that.
I felt that this team had the snowball effect in full force. That, once you start beating on a team, it's very rare that they can come back, especially from getting punched in the mouth. Now, it's happened, and you can easily come back from a 14-0 deficit.
Sure.
But once you start getting a little momentum, if something bad happens, it just knocks you back. And that's exactly what happened. Moving on to our last one, which we only do 3 or 4 usually, but this game felt like a 5-1.
All 5, by the way, in the first 7 minutes of the game.
1st and 10 at Carolina's 31. They're in field goal range. They're about to at least get a field goal. Colt McCoy pass deep middle, gets pass rushed and intercepted by Dante Jackson. Carolina's ball on 13. And it just, after that, it just felt like the Cardinals had nothing. They felt flat. And momentum is a huge thing, and just in general, and they lost it all.
Yeah. As a result of this, the Panthers go up the field and kick a field goal up 17-0 at that point. And, the Cardinals could get nothing going after that, really. It was 23-0 at halftime. Panthers come out in the third quarter and play probably their best third quarter of the year. Win the third quarter 8-3. And
scoring 8 points and only giving up 3 points is our best third quarter of this season.
Well, hey, it probably is. I mean, there might be one other one against Houston or something, but just circumstances against an 8-1 team. And they were missing some key players, no doubt, but they were missing those key players last week too, and they whipped up on San Francisco. So this is a team that still had they're pretty much their full complement of defensive players out there. They were ready to go. Yeah. And they got punched in the mouth, like you said. And just that, again, it was only 14 points, like you said there, but it felt significant.
Well, everybody was dancing on the sideline. Yeah. Everybody was smiling with Cam Newton. He brings an energy to this team that Sam Darnold definitely did not have. Like, no. It's just, yes, we have a leader. Like, even on the defensive side of the ball, you could tell that they were energized in a different way than, hey, we're good. We're a good defense. They were like, we have something on the other side that can win. Like,
yeah, I mean, and Cam was present.
Yes.
You know, he played, I think he was in 7 plays. He's got 4 passes and 3 rushes. So congrats on the beer bet win. I said it at 7.5. He played 7 and you took the under. But he was there, like the camera could not stop finding Cam. Cam was standing on the sidelines, just in the camera shot, basically, every time the Panthers had the ball, just, watching. Mm-hmm. His aura, his presence was just all over this game. And, I wonder if the Panthers hadn't have signed him. Now, again, he played 7 plays.
Yeah.
Yes. 2 touchdowns. They were very impactful plays. A couple of first downs, I think, not necessarily him, but the Panthers when he was on the field. If he does not get signed this week, is this the same result? Do you feel like the Panthers win this game by 24 points, win this game at all?
I don't know, because PJ Walker showed already in his 29 pass attempts, he showed the issues we already had with him, where he just throws dumb balls, like bad throws that are very easily turned over.
Yeah. One interception for PJ, but another one that should have been intercepted, and then another one that was pretty questionable as well.
Yeah. Something fell. I don't know what it was back there, but
no, PJ.
And I have a screaming child back there.
PJ's coming to get you. He's like, "Why stop talking about me?"
Yes. So I agree. PJ just is not a starting caliber type of quarterback in the NFL. He played well this game. I mean, hats off to him. He did move the ball, but you could tell he
saved his backup job.
I agree. I 100% agree. He still needs to learn how to not turn the ball over. I think that's his biggest issue, is forcing the ball / just frantic.
Yeah, I thought they put him in a couple of bad situations, the coaching staff wise, especially towards the end of the first half there when, they really just should have been playing for a field goal. At that point you're already up 20-0, I think, or 17-0 or whatever it was. And they had him pass the ball. Probably should have just run it, got into field goal range, kick it. Yeah. You have to manage the game. That's what we want from PJ Walker. And for the most part, that's what he did. Like, PJ wasn't awful in this game.
No.
PJ played a better game than Sam Darnold has played for the last several weeks.
Absolutely. 22 of 29, 167 yards, 1 interception. That's great for the way this defense is. This defense is brutally defiant. I mean, even if you add Cam Newton's 1 touchdown on there, that's, 1 touchdown. I mean, you
1 touchdown, 8 yards passing,
You're not looking for him to throw 300-400 yards. You want him to manage the game, have Christian McCaffrey do what he did, and protect the ball. And luckily, with a couple drops by the defenders, he did that.
Yeah. No, this was nice. I mean, I was talking to a couple friends who, one of them very much not on the Cam Newton bandwagon. And one of the things he said was, he's always just been a very average passer. And I'm like, man, if Cam can be an average passer for the rest of the season, we're going to win a lot of games. Like, that's all I want from him, is to be an average passer. Like, please give me an average passer. An average passer, this Panthers team is what, like 6-4, 7-3 at this point? Like, maybe even better than that.
Yeah, because you got to think about that Philadelphia game, the Giants game. The Giants game was kind of a blowout, but there was another game.
No, but that team they should have won.
Yeah, but there was another game that was like a score difference, but Sam Darnold, that was it. Sam Darnold, he stunk it up the most of the game, so it went to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, I think PJ played well enough to ensure that Cam Newton is the starting quarterback next week. That's what I'll say.
And I think Cam Newton played well enough to stay, hey, you know what I bring. I bring that luster. Yeah.
Yeah. But this proves my old theory that I have had that, an NFL team should have a closer type quarterback. A guy that comes in the red zone, with, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, that can just move the chains, get into the end zone. Like if this was the role that Cam Newton played for the rest of his career, he would have a really successful rest of his career. Like, again, he's too talented for that. That's probably more like a Taysom Hill type talent in terms of that. But, this is the next evolution of the game, I think. Well, you could have a guy that did something like this.
I was going to say, whenever you said that, I was thinking Taysom Hill is what you're describing, and I don't think that works most often.
Well, again, I don't think Taysom Hill is certainly not the caliber of a Cam Newton.
I don't either, and I think if you have that caliber, you want them to start. That's
you want them on the field. Yeah. But in terms of like keeping Cam fresh, keeping him healthy, that's the type of role that he could really excel in. Just like a closer in baseball. You got a guy that comes out and throws 105 miles an hour. Yeah, you'd want that guy out there for 9 innings, but he's maybe more effective in 1 inning. I don't know. It's just something to think about. Obviously, that's not going to happen. That's, Cam's too good really for that role. But it certainly worked in this game. What else worked in this game was Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, boy.
23 touches. He had 17 touches at halftime, and I was like, it's a little too much at halftime. Like, I don't like that. And then, they come out and they, ride him hard that first series after halftime. He was able to rest most of the fourth quarter, which is nice. He tried to get out there a few times, I think.
Yeah,
maybe
he snuck
to the
out.
Coaches, maybe to the coaches' chagrin. But 23 total touches for Christian. Perfectly fine with 23 total touches for Christian.
Absolutely, especially the way he was running. You're against one of the top defenses in the league. I know they were up big, but you still need to get points on the board. You need to keep them decently arm length so they continue to feel down on themselves not to bring it up. I mean, that's my thought.
37 total carries for the Panthers. Only 13 of them were Christian McCaffrey. I like that. And he was very much productive with those 13. 7.3 yards per carry. Only had a long of 15. So it's not like he had one that skewed that average. Like, they were all good runs.
And hats off to the offensive line. They were opening up holes. I believe on that 15-yard scamper he had, he didn't get touched till like yard 12 or 13. So he fell forward. So a lot of those were great run blocking teams. So hats off to them.
Yeah, they showed several replays where you could see, even Elfline just making room for Christian to get through the line. No sacks for the Cardinals against the Panthers in this game, which when you've got your backup quarterback in there, that's a testament. That's a testament to the offensive line. So, we've killed them all year long, rightfully so. This was a good game.
It really was.
This was a good game.
The only negative I would say was Dennis Daly's. And honestly, those 2 holding calls that were called on him, I question both of them. One, he pushed a guy on the shoulder.
One especially was rough.
And then there was he got plowed off, pushed off, and somehow he got called for it. And he was on the ground. I didn't understand that. So
yeah, a few questionable calls in this game. But I thought overall it was a decently officiated game. I think there were only 6 officials on the field since after the first play or something. Like, one of the officials twisted an ankle.
They have backups.
Did he end up coming? No, they played with 6 officials. Oh. They made the announcement they were playing with 6 officials. I don't know if the guy came back in at some point or not, but either way, I thought it, pretty clean game. Panthers did have 7 penalties, 9 penalties for 115 yards. That's a lot of penalties, a lot of penalty yards for the Panthers. Almost as many penalty yards for the Panthers as total yards for the Cardinals in this game.
Yeah.
Let's clean that up.
They really do. And this is not a one-time thing. They've done it quite often.
Yeah. 15 of those yards were from Cam, though. So we're going to give him a pass on that one.
Yeah. Now,
All right.
let's continue on with the stats here. Rushing wise, Chuba Hubbard had 9 carries, 27 yards, and that one beautiful touchdown where everybody bit on PJ Walker. I didn't know if they thought it was Cam or something, but they just all bit down, and he walked completely empty into the field end zone. Amir Abdullah, another good game from him, even though the stats don't look great for him. 9 rushes, 24 yards, only 2.7 yards per carry, but I felt like towards the end of this game, he was picking up a lot of yards.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, 3 for 14 in that one touchdown.
The one magical touchdown.
PJ Walker, 3 rushes, 6 yards. Nothing spectacular from PJ Walker, but he didn't have to do anything.
A couple of those were kneel downs, right? So,
yeah.
Yeah, a nice job all around. 37 rushes, like we said, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns, average of 4.5 rushes or yards per rush. That's good. I mean, 37 rushes, you're probably going to win most of those games.
And that keeps the defense fresh. And this defense plays great, but they need time to rest. It's just human physiology.
37 minutes of possession for the Panthers in this game.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to do it.
Now we're going to look at the receiving. Christian McCaffrey led both sides of the ball, 10 receptions, 66 yards. Perfect.
On 10 targets.
Yep. Long was 15 yards, and I think that was that third down on that first drive that you were talking about. So, when it needed to happen,
really nice. Glad they got him involved in the passing game early and often in this game. Last week, not so much involved in the passing game until the very end. Thought that was a big mistake. So, I mean, this is the kind of split I think works best for CMC is almost 50-50 rushing and receiving. And he had 150 total yards, 150, 160. So great game for Christian.
Yep. And someone who got off the mat this week, Robbie Anderson, 4 receptions, 37 yards, 1 touchdown. It says targeted 6 times. I don't remember him dropping it, so he must have just been overthrown or thrown at his feet.
That one play that PJ threw that was real low, that was almost intercepted, that was to Robbie. And then possibly the interception was also to Robbie. I'm not sure. I don't remember who that target was. But, I mean, he caught everything that he could have caught.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't have a ton of opportunities. Like, they didn't throw deep. They didn't they didn't do much in this game. That they didn't have to.
At a certain point, you don't need to, especially with PJ Walker as your quarterback and you're up on a high-powered offense. You want to drain that clock. You want to first down instead of touchdown. Now, Amir Abdullah, 4 receptions, 27 yards. Another good game, man. I love having him in the rotation. It really kind of feels out. DJ Moore, 4 receptions, 24 yards, and 1 pass interference that really helped us out. Yeah. I don't know how many yards. It was like 30, 40 yards. Cam Newton underthrew it a little bit, but DJ
again, the timing's not down. Cam hasn't thrown a ball in a live game that deep in over, a year, if not, quite a year. Not surprised at all that Cam was a little off on a couple of his throws. Like, I would have been more surprised if it was a perfect throw. Like, give the guy a break. But yeah, it worked out. Intended effect. Panthers moved down the field.
Yeah, Brandon Zylstra, 2 receptions, 18 yards. Tommy Tremble, 1 for 3. And Terrace Marshall caught the 2-point conversion, I believe, right?
Yep.
It doesn't count on the stat sheet, but
nice throw from PJ too on that 2-point conversion.
All right, now let's look at the Cardinals. Colt McCoy.
Let's look at Panthers defense.
Oh,
real quick.
Sorry.
Yeah. Shaq Thompson led the team in tackles, 6 tackles, also had a sack, a very nice sack where he just timed the snap perfectly and actually knocked Colt McCoy out of the game.
Yeah, what was up with that? I didn't know if that
seemed like a pretty soft tackle. So I'm not sure what happened there.
I don't know if he
Colt
twisted
just
his knee.
Screw this, I'm done.
I mean, it was at that point where that game was out of hand. But
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe he twisted his knee. Shaq put weight on him and he twisted it wrong. But yeah, it didn't look that hard.
I didn't hear what the injury was or to what part of the body. I'm not sure. But two pass deflections, 2 QB hits for Shaq. I mean, just a tackle for loss. He played a really good game. He was all over the place.
Yeah, this year he has been absolutely completely different than he has in the past. He's been good in previous years. This year he looks great.
Yeah,
like flying around.
Miles Hartsfield also with 6 tackles. He was all over the place as well. I thought he played a really good game. Hassan Reddick ended up with a sack and a half. Morgan Fox with the other half of that sack, and then Marquise Haynes towards the end of the game got a sack. So that's your 4 sacks for the Panthers. There was an interception. DJ Jackson, Dante Jackson, interception. Yeah. Gilmore got close to one, got a little banged up, but looked like he was okay.
That was a great pass deflection that he got banged up on. I don't want to bring it up like he got banged up, but that was a great play on 3rd down.
Yeah, and Shaq Thompson almost had one that he would have easily taken in for a touchdown. That was his one of his pass deflections. But just I mean, as good as Cam looked and as good as efficient as the offense was, the defense was better. The defense was excellent in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. They're dominant. I mean, the first score was a layup from the defense. The defense completely shut down. Yes, they didn't have DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray, but they shut down an Arizona team that lit up San Francisco last week with the same roster. I mean, this defense is for real. This defense is a playoff caliber defense. I will keep saying that.
I mean, they were number 2, depending on the stats you look at, they were number 2 coming into the league. The stats that most people consider, how you rank a defense, they came into the game number 2. They will certainly not leave any worse than number 2 out of this game.
No.
Special teams also, man, like since they've hit on their kicker and punter, it's just been pretty flawless. Gonzalez 4 for 4, 2 for 2 on extra points, had a couple of 40-plus yards, almost a 50-yarder. And then Lachlan Edwards, 3 punts, averaged 51 per punt. I mean, that's going to do it right there. That's perfect.
Can I say I love Zane Gonzalez because I feel like when they trot him out here for a 47-yard, I feel fairly confident that he's going to make it. I mean, that's all I want. I understand if you miss it. You're not perfect. But he goes out there, and I'm like, he should get this. And he gets it week after week. Good job.
And not like he sneaks them in or anything. Like these are down the middle. These are not like he's in a zone. He is locked in. These are good kicks. He is a good kicker, and I'm the Panthers are lucky to have him.
Yeah, considering their previous 2 kickers keep struggling for the teams they're currently on, Joey Sly and Santoso.
Santoso missed one today. Yep. All right, well, let's go over to Arizona.
Arizona, like I said, Colt McCoy, who left in the 3rd quarter, I believe it was, 11 for 20, 107 yards, 1 interception. He got sacked twice for 22 yards. He couldn't get into a rhythm. The defense was stopping the run, and just anytime he got any time, he just was getting hit later on. I mean, it was just, they rattled him.
Yep. He certainly did not look as good as he did last week. And, I mean, again, credit to the defense.
Yeah. Chris Jevler then showed up after he got injured. Colt McCoy got injured, 6 for 9, 36 yards. They were just trying to keep him from making big mistakes, and that's respectful.
Yeah. He looked fine. He did drive him down the field for their only touchdown drive. But again, the Panthers were sort of in that defense that a team gets in when they're up, by 20-something points.
Yeah, 3 scores, 4 scores. You're just you're not getting a touchdown. You're gonna take 4 or 5 minutes to get that. James Conner, 10 rushes, 39 yards, 1 touchdown. I didn't see much of that from him. I mean, his long was 11, so 9 yards, 28, or 9 carries, 28 yards without that. So they really shut him down.
He didn't look special.
No. Eno Benjamin, 6 carries, 22 yards. Chris Drevler, 2 rushes, 4 yards. I mean, nothing. I mean, they locked them down.
20 for 65 as a team, 3.3 yards per carry. Not bad. Yeah. Again, overall defensive performance from the Panthers. They shut the team down. They shut them down.
I mean, now we're looking at receiving. I mean, Christian Kirk, 7 receptions, 58 yards. They kept everything in front of them. They just refused to let things get behind them. Zach Ertz, 4 for 46 yards, and one of those plays was really nice. Other than that, I don't even remember the rest of the catches he made. Connor, 3 receptions, 25 yards. Rondale Moore, 2 receptions, 10 yards. AJ Green, 1 reception, 4 yards. Just this secondary and this defense is so good, guys.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, it's like I said, playoff caliber. These guys are. If the Panthers don't get into the playoffs, it's really a waste of a season on this defense because they are lights out. They're really good.
I hate saying this, but I'm very excited to see Tampa Bay against this secondary. I'm very curious on how they're going to play against Tom Brady and company.
Well, the good news is, Jerry, you're going to see it twice.
I am, but
let's just run real quick here through the rest of the stats for Arizona. They leading tackle Jordan Hicks with 10 tackles, no interceptions I'm sorry, they did have 1 interception. Jalen Thompson interception, no sacks for the Cardinals, 1-for-1 kicking, a few punts from Andy Lee, former Panther, but that's pretty much it. Like nothing really else to talk about from Arizona. Like they just nothing exciting from them pretty much all game long.
And for Arizona fans, I mean, you got to think you may hate the way this game went, but you may like it because obviously it exposed some of the issues that Arizona's going to have and that maybe they can bounce back from. I mean, they're still 8-2 in second seed in this division. So
exactly. Yeah. I mean, anytime you're an 8-1 team and you come into a game and especially you lose like this, where it's not close. This game you never were in this game. That doesn't feel as bad as if it was like 34-33 and you lose on a missed field goal or, something like that.
Or like a tip pass interception, ran for a touchdown, something like weird.
Like this game, you can justify this game if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan very easily.
You're like, all right,
so
that sucked, but let's go look at the let's watch the tape. Let's figure out what we can do to get better.
They're still a good team.
Yeah.
They were 4 for 13 on third downs. So good job by the Panthers kind of coming back and playing a really, really good on third downs, 0 for 3 on fourth down. So combined 4 for 16 on third and fourth downs. Only 53 offensive plays for the Cardinals in this game. The Panthers really like I said, almost 38 minutes of possession for the Panthers, only 22 for the Cardinals. That keeps the defense fresh. And that, again, 3 for 4 for the Panthers in the red zone in terms of touchdowns. That's a nice change.
Yeah.
What if PJ was the starting quarterback all season instead of Sam? Like, is the record any different?
I don't know because Sam has a good set of skill sets. He's a good. I don't want to say quarterback because he's not a good quarterback, but
he has good quarterback traits.
Yes, he has good tools, but he just makes mistakes. And PJ Walker he makes the similar mistakes, but he doesn't have those tools. So I don't know
the great tools. Yeah, and we didn't see any running from PJ in this game. Really, I think he only had one rush. That was an actual rush and not a kneel down or something. But so I agree. I don't think I saw some people posting, "Oh, PJ should have been the starter all season long." Okay, again, this game, as soon as Cam walked into the building, this team, this energy was so different that it really is hard to even quantify.
Yeah,
the difference just look at the game. Like you could see the difference out there today.
Look at all the former Panthers who played with Cam Newton. Talk about it. Trey Boston is a great follow on Twitter, by the way. I don't know his Twitter handle, but he's a great Twitter follow. Him, Jonathan Stewart. They're just saying as soon as he got signed.
I saw Michael Orr today.
like just talk about how players want to play for him. They want to get in that. And I mentioned this, last week and the week before. Robbie Anderson doesn't look like he wants to play for Sam Darnold. And you could kind of see that from the rest of the team. The O-line looks like they want to play this week. I mean, they look good. It's just, he brings a different, he's a leader. He is a leader of a team. And Sam Darnold is not that.
He's the leader of a whole, he certainly, I mean, he's a franchise quarterback. He's got the franchise quarterback swagger. He's a former MVP. He's done it. He's taken a team to the Super Bowl. He knows he can do it. He is respected. And like you said, by all accounts, he's a great teammate that people just want to be around.
Yep.
And you could just see it even in the fourth quarter. Like, he's going up and down the sidelines, pumping everybody up. He always has. For the Panthers, always has.
And he's not out there at this point. He's just sitting on the sideline. And Christian McCaffrey's right there. Other key players, captains, are standing right next to him, high-fiving him.
He just got here.
Yeah.
He just got here. He doesn't know most of these players. Like, he did not play with most of these guys.
It's just a different vibe he sends out to the players.
He didn't play for this coaching staff. He comes in as the new guy, yet he owns the place already.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is remarkable. It really is.
So our defense allowed the Cardinals only 169 total yards.
God. A lot of that garbage time. Yep.
Ooh, this defense is so good if they are given rest. I'm sorry, I just saw that and I was just like, wow. I know we went through the stats, but all right, I'm just gonna gleam for a little bit, but let's move on. Beer bets, you said it at 7.5 snaps for Cam. I said under. Woohoo! I finally won, but he made the most of those 7 snaps, 2 touchdowns off.
Yeah.
So
impact wise, you could have told me he was out there for 30 plays and I would have believed you just because of how much of an impact he had. But yeah, you got that one. What was your bold prediction?
I honestly already forgot. It was something.
I don't remember. Oh, I remember mine. Mine was that PJ Walker would not lead the Panthers in passing yards. He did. He led actually he had more passing yards than the entire Arizona team, both of their quarterbacks. So yeah, PJ, he played the whole game. That was part of my prediction there, was that the Panthers could be down a significant amount at halftime, and Cam just comes in and mops up the rest of the game to just get some reps. That didn't happen. Didn't have to happen. I saw Matt Barkley warming up on the sideline with his helmet on at one point. I thought maybe they were going to bring him in, but no, PJ finished out the game. So good job, PJ. Like, honestly, even though you made a couple of passes we wish you wouldn't make, that is the PJ Walker experience. He certainly didn't lose this game for us. No. And kept our offense on the field. Thought he did a fine job.
Yeah. All right. My prediction, I had the Panthers losing, only scoring 13 points because the offense has struggled the whole time. And once they scored 14 points, I was ecstatically wrong because they were up 14-0 early in the first. And I was like, I was wrong. Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, I had them winning 24-20, I think. So, again, three touchdowns. No, neither. I don't know that anybody had that. And I saw a lot of national predictions right before the game. Pretty much everyone picked the Cardinals, and a lot of people picked them big, like 30-10 range. Basically what the Panthers did to the Cardinals, the people were picking the Cardinals to do to the Panthers.
Yeah. I mean, I was 20-13. Like I said, I just didn't expect our offense to be able to keep the pace that they did.
That's because we haven't seen it all season.
Yeah. Either way, bravo.
Hey, you're happy to be wrong when something like this happens.
Yes, yeah. I think this is I keep picking against the Panthers, and I'm 1-2 picking against them. I may have to keep this trend up.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Washington next week. I tell you what, those Washingtons, they're a pretty strong bunch. You know, you're gonna have to. You might not be able to pick the Panthers in that one, Jerry. All right, heroes and zeros. What you got for your hero? I mean, I think there's an obvious hero here.
There's so many heroes. I know who you want to pick. You're gonna pick Cam Newton, so I'm gonna leave that to you.
I think just his impact on the game was, like I said, it's immeasurable.
He scored 2 touchdowns. I mean, you can't even argue that. Like,
not even just his energy, but his actual production on the field.
Yeah, but
was worthy.
With that being said, I'm going Christian McCaffrey. I know it's because he was the one who kept moving the chains, kept moving the chains, keeping that defense fresh, giving Cam Newton those options. I'm going Christian McCaffrey because it could have swung the other way. But due to him staying on the field, picking up those first downs, they weren't able
Honorable
to.
mention to Hassan Reddick.
Just
another great defensive game from him. Set the tone with that early sack fumble. Got the Panthers right into scoring range. It really set the tone for the game. And so he certainly is worthy of a hero.
Shaq Thompson, offensive line, Zane Gonzalez. There's a lot of heroes that could be given out today.
Yeah. Zeros, I don't have one.
I have one.
Even the coaching staff was good. Go ahead.
I do too, but I do have one. Sam Darnold. This game kind of proved
even when he's not in the game.
Proved to me,
poor Sam,
that you are not the starting type caliber of an NFL football team. You lack that energy. You lack that. I mean, PJ Walker, 22 of 29, looked better. He looked more decisive in his plays than you.
Yeah.
So
he did. And, you say you lack the energy. Hard for anyone to have the energy that Cam Newton brings. No. But, Sam is he's just a zero in terms of energy. He doesn't give you anything.
I mean, look at the sidelines when they're losing and stuff like that. Other players are yelling at him. I never saw that with Cam Newton. I saw Cam Newton yelling at other players and trying to rah-rah them. Never saw that.
That's what your franchise quarterback should be doing.
Yeah.
For sure. But I mean, mostly because it's Sam's fault that they were down, oftentimes, not a lot for him to yell at, but I'll agree with you on that. Yeah. Sam Darnold, zero for sure. Man, I'm just so happy. This is an unexpected win. To be 5-5 going into this next stretch of 3 games, Washington, Miami, Atlanta, 3 very winnable games with Cam kind of coming in starting next week, probably. It really, I mean, the feelings, Jerry, that I have in complete opposition to what I had this time last week.
Yeah.
Are amazing. I mean, honestly, I felt the season was over for me last week. That there was no hope. We said it. There's no hope for this franchise for years. And now I feel, we're right in the middle of it. And if we get into the playoffs, who knows what could happen?
So with that being said, I want to jump into something real quick. The Panthers are currently setting at the 7th wildcard seed, a half game up over Minnesota and Atlanta. So Minnesota does hold the tiebreaker over us, but we do hold the tiebreaker over Atlanta currently. And with that said, I'm going to look into the NFC South games this week. The Falcons got utterly destroyed by the Cowboys, 43-3. The Saints lost to Tennessee, 23-21. And the Washington football team, I'm trying to find the score here. I know they beat Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
29-19, I think.
29-19. Yeah. So with that, I mean, the Panthers have a chance here, guys. If Cam Newton can come in and be a average to better than average quarterback, the defense continues the way they're going, we can get into this playoff race. Even though they technically are, but, Yeah,
the team that's 6th in the playoffs is the Saints, and their quarterback situation is extremely iffy. That's a team I would expect probably to fall some in the standings. I mean, it's there. It's there for the Panthers. They hold their own destiny. It's not certainly not out of the realm of possibility. And again, 3 winnable games coming up. This is going to kind of set the tone, because the last 4 games, as we've talked about, are, those are legitimately tough games. Although we've seen, Tampa Bay losing today. We've seen freaking Buffalo got beat by Jacksonville.
Arizona, number 1 seed, got destroyed by the Panthers today. I mean, you can...
Right. So any given Sunday, but the Panthers showed today that they can beat anybody. The Panthers would have beaten any team in the league if they played this game. Any team in the league. I mean, just with the offense, the defense, and the special teams, the Panthers would have beaten any team in the league. So that is now in this team. That was not in this team last week. I did not feel that all season long. Really, the whole Matt Rule era, I had not felt this way about this team. And maybe we're going crazy. It's just one game. Cam's not going to be perfect. He's coming in middle of the season. It's irresponsible and unfair to him to expect this 34-10 result every week.
Every week, no. But
he's going to have ups and downs. Go ahead.
But from Adam Schefter, the Panthers are signed him with the expectation that Sam will not play anymore this year. That he's out for the season, and that Cam has a chance to win a starting job for next year. And
I hope so.
So yeah, I hope
don't
it's not
like
Sam.
The fact that, I don't like the fact that what I read from, it was Ian Rappaport, basically said that the Panthers were still encouraged by Sam Darnold, and that they expect him to be the starter in 2022 because they liked what they saw the first 3 games of the season. But we've talked about it over and over again, that those first 3 games of the season were a little bit of fool's gold. And what we saw from Sam the rest of the season is probably the actual Sam. So Panthers, I mean, if today didn't show you what just an average quarterback performance can do, and we're talking PJ Walker here, versus what you've seen from Sam, then I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, that's... Hopefully David Tepper sees it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that Matt Rule and them do.
I don't know what Matt Rule sees. But he also never tells... I don't want to say he never tells the truth. Yeah, he's just...
go ahead and say
it. He does coach speak all the time. So...
He does.
All right. I have nothing more to say besides keep pounding. But what do you want? Yeah. Sorry. I almost stole it. Sorry.
That's okay. No, I mean, we've said it all. Like, we're stoked. This podcast was a lot of fun to do. I was looking forward to it, actually.
Yeah.
Basically the whole game, I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait to talk about this. 5-5. We're right in it. We're right in it. We are in it. The rest of the season is going to mean something.
Yep. We want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. And if you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on our show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll be back, at the very latest, I guess, on Friday. Before that, if anything interesting happens or if we just want to chat. But until then, everybody stay safe out there and keep pounding.